Today's question is, what is just a placebo effect but most people don't realize?
Using gas with a higher octane rating than what the manufacturer recommends. My car runs so much better on premium than regular. Octane rating of gasoline is not a measurement of how much energy is in fuel. It is a measurement of how resistant to pre-detonation is. If the manufacturer says to use 87, putting 91 or 93 into the vehicle makes no difference. The car cannot tell a higher octane fuel is being used. It can only tell if a lower octane fuel might be used by virtue of the knock sensor. If the sensor detects knocking or pinging, the computer will retard the timing to eliminate the knock. Pulling timing can reduce the amount of power the engine makes. The fuel map the computer uses to manage your engine is made for a specific octane rating. On high-performance cars, the compression is higher and the timing is more aggressive, therefore high octane is necessary. If your car says it requires premium, use it. If it says recommended, regular can be used unless the vehicle is under heavy load. Don't spend 15% more on gas because your car feels like it runs better on premium. When I worked/trained tech support, our agents would always get pushback from customers when we asked them to power cycle their phone, which 9 times out of 10 would fix their issue. So, I had them tell the customer to read them some numbers off the back of the battery, when they were still removable, that we absolutely did not need. Then we told them we refreshed a few systems, and they put their battery back in and it's all fixed. Alternatively, when batteries couldn't be removed, we'd tell them that if the phone was powered on while we did the update, it could ruin their SIM card. So they'd make sure to power off their phone. I'd do nothing. They'd turn it back on and it worked great. But if I had told them to power cycle their phones? No way. Bubbles in cleaning products. Early formulations of soap way back when used to naturally form suds. Newer formulations can clean better but don't naturally produce suds, as the bubbling was an incidental side effect that doesn't actually have any bearing on cleaning. When these newer soaps were first introduced, people complained they didn't work because they didn't make loads of bubbles. So the manufacturers started adding a chemical solely to generate bubbles that didn't actually help with the cleaning at all, and all the complaints stopped. To this day, the association of bubbles equals clean is strong enough that they still do it. Basically, all cleaning products, including toothpaste, foam up when used, and almost without exception the foam is 100% marketing. When I was working a catering gig at my university, everyone eating off fancy plates at sit-down dinners in the ballrooms, fundraisers, and receptions, and every other formal dinner occasion that might be held at a university. We're eating the same bulk commercial-grade food that was served in the dorms. They'd tell us to give their compliments to the chef. Lady, the only difference between your $40 fancy reception plate pork chop and my $4 cafeteria pork chop was that mine came on a paper plate. And yes, I do happen to know where the chef gets his choice cuts. Aramark Food Services, just like everyone else. But you put that stuff on a delicate plate with gold on the edges? They think it's the most wonderful thing they've eaten all year. I install commercial audio-video systems. On bigger, more involved jobs like stadiums and arenas, we have AV consultants who don't work for my company but are a big link in the chain, as far as designing and EQing the finished system. I don't know how many times I've been up in an 80 boom lift, and they want the azimuth or down angle of a speaker adjusted by some ridiculously small amount. So you get back up there, bang a couple wrenches on the speaker, and don't actually move shit. How's that? Oh yeah, that sounds better. Works every goddamn time. Wine sommelier. I still can't believe there is a profession out there to tell people what wine is the best when sense of taste is subjective and not universal to the human race. Your entire career is based on your own opinion and not applicable to literally the rest of the world. But people will still believe them and their judgment of wine and then agree that it is in fact blah 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 because this guy said so. Final nail in the coffin for me was a head-to-head with 5 sommeliers as to who could identify a wine by taste. They were all given one glass of wine and asked if they could identify the country and year of their respective wines. They all came up with something different based off the taste and a reasoning behind their choice, only to be told they were all drinking the same cheap red from a local corner store. My pops used to be the director at summer camps. Inevitability, every session, there would be a few kids who would complain the lake was too cold. So one day, he took an old electrical lever and nailed it to a pole on the shore. Then he ran a wire from the lever to the ground and buried it. The whole thing was obviously connected to nothing, but whenever a kid complained, he would tell them he would turn on the heating system for the lake. He'd flip the lever and there would be no more complaints because the lake would heat right up. Eventually, kids would even preemptively ask for the heater to be turned on before they even got in the water. And this is the end of today's video. I hope you liked it, and don't forget to comment an anecdote or experience similar to the topic of the video. Leave your like, share if you liked the video, and lastly, don't forget to activate the little bell so you don't miss any of our daily videos. Bye-bye.